Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're here to do a little bit of paint work just on that little section there and that one wall. That's all the homeowner wanted. And they did not leave any touch-up paint. So what we do in a case like that is we take and cut a little hole and take some of the paper with the paint with us up to the paint store and get a color match. And that wall probably wouldn't have had to have been done except for this overspray when they did a little repair on the ceiling, and the guy went ahead and did some repair on the wall also. So we're going to take and fill in our hole, and it'll dry, and we're going to paint this wall today. And this is almost like a fire engine red. I don't know exactly what the paint's going to be, but the paint store will figure it out. Alright, I took and I have my patch. I used some 20 set joint compound, which comes in a powder form, and you mix it with water. And it's been probably about a half hour or so, because I had to run to the paint store after I made my repair. So I'm going to force dry that down just a little bit, and then we're going to continue sanding that and get the show on the road here. So I get this one done. Okay, obviously I'm not going to be able to catch all the paint bleed because the homeowner's got it on a good portion of the woodwork, and I don't want to overrun because I didn't bid to paint their white. But I will be able to catch some of it. I'll be able to make that line just a little bit crisper. Just a little bit crisper. Kind of hard to see the way the camera is here, but it's coming out just a little bit better than what it was. Because there's a lot of tape bleed on this thing where they taped it and it just bled right underneath the tape. Okay, we'll catch you after I get this all painted. Well, I got my wall cut in, what I'm going to paint here. Normally, I go with an 18-inch roller and a 3/4 nap, a really, really soft roller. But today I'm going to go with a 9-inch for the simple reason I only have this one wall and it's too much cleanup. But usually I got almost a whole house to do, or at least a couple of rooms in the same color. And I really need to get some speed on with that 18-inch roller. Usually I'd be using a little bit more nap on the roller, but all I'm doing is the same color, and I'm just going over to make sure that it blends in with the other where the repair was. fast you go if you're not using tape, because you don't want to splatter everything all up. If you notice, when I go on my upstroke, my right arm is fully stretched. You space yourself out so you don't hit the ceiling. Because if you hit the ceiling, that's just another repair you need to do. And you don't want to have to do that. The least amount of repairs and touch-ups that you can do, the better it is. And the less you swear. Now I'll probably go back and touch up around that hook. I didn't want to roll over it with this sleeve here, as little nap as there is, and I wasn't about to pull it. Normally I would, but in this situation it's only the one wall and I'm not doing any filling or anything other than where I had to cut out of the wall to get the color match. When you color match like that, you want to paint at least the one wall that you're doing, because if you don't, you're just asking for trouble if it's off just a little bit. So you want to make sure that you get the right amount of paint. It makes for a less stressful life. If you notice, I turn the roller the other way, where the open part is more towards the wall. That's so I can get closer to the wall without scraping it with the roller frame. Now, just to make doubly sure, I'm going to run my roller along this edge to make sure I didn't miss any parts running into the cut. because it'll be very visible if it's off a little bit. Normally I wouldn't do this because the cut would be just a little bit wider, but on this particular thing I did that. There, that should conclude that wall, other than a little bit of touch up on the other. Well, I thought I was done getting paint mixed. The homeowner was supposed to have paint here for this, but none available. So I had to cut another chunk of wall out here. And the drywall guys didn't even sand this. Just beautiful. But that's okay, I'm getting paid for it. I'm turning in a bill for it. It was supposed to be a freebie, just a quick touch-up. But I'm going to turn in a bill for this. If I got to go get paint and screw around, oh well, I'll have to paint this whole wall too. Oh joy. Alright, I don't know whether you can see it, but it goes on, the cut goes on light, and I dried it down just to see what the effect would be. And the cut is just a little bit darker than the thing. That's why you have to do a whole wall. Because this was custom matched. This from the chunk I took out of the wall. And it's still off. So that's why you have to do the whole wall and cut it in at the corners. They'll never know the difference once I cut it in at the corners.